D, wait for it, light bulb.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I just finished Superman and Lois, episode 13, and I have to say, I love this show. I can't get enough of this show. It's so good. I think that the writing is very good. I think that the creators of this show and the writers of the show are doing a top-notch job. And I think that the show just keeps getting better and better. I mean, like every week, I'm super happy with this show. I think that I think that one thing the CW does, though, on a constant basis is like normally the first season is good, and then the rest of the seasons, like two might be good, but then three it starts to falter, and then at four it sucks and everything. So that's what my fear is with this show. But as far as this season goes, it's very good, and I'm enjoying it immensely, very much. Um, I also want to say somebody had commented on the last video. Listen, if I just got done watching this episode, so if I don't remember every single super, like I read the comic books and I've read comic books before, but I don't remember every single storyline, every single Superman storyline off the top of my head. So calm it down, sister. Some of you guys like get all crazy upset about nothing, but it's fine. It's like whatever. Anyways, so why don't we jump into breaking down this episode and talk about it? And yeah, I really liked it a lot, and I'll explain as we go along. So we start off this episode with Morgan Edge in his kryptonite cell and everything, and he's just sitting there and he's hearing all these voices and stuff. Then it goes back to his past when he was a younger boy, and he's doing his little training with his dad, his hologram daddy, and he's like stop and everything, and it stops and everything. And he falls, and his dad's all like, "Oh, you're weak," or whatever he says. I can't remember what he's all that stuff. And he's like, I have a mission for you, a plan. You're gonna be like the savior of the Kryptonian race and all that stuff. He's like, but you can't do it if you're gonna be all weak sauce and everything. So he's like, start it again or whatnot. So he starts up again. And then Cal, Superman, is in there talking. He's like, hey, where's the Eradicator? He's like, what did you do with it before the big explosion? And it shows the last episode where he destroyed it. And then he's like, what? And he's like, where's Elizabeth Law, or whatever her name is? I can't remember. Law is her last name. And he's like, how would I know? I'm stuck in this little box and everything. And he's like, I can't see past these lead walls. And then he's sitting there. I can't remember exactly what else he says to him. But so then we go back to the Kent farm, and they're sitting here talking, and they're like, you're going to go to school. There's a big, assembly where the principal's going to try to, help everybody cope with what happened, kind of thing. And they're like, do we really have to go to this? And she's like, absolutely, you have to go. And so they get ready for school over at the Cushing's house. I'm trying to remember all of them. His name is Kyle. I called him Alex, the last one. Listen, I forget these people's names. I mean, like, listen, Kyle's not exactly the most riveting character on this show. He's like not on my top 3 favorite characters. So calm it down, sister. But I mean, I do forget their names. Like, I don't remember the mayor's name or whatever this guy's title is. Anyways, so the mayor is there with the Lana and her husband, and he's talking about how, like, hey, I'm trying to get the town to back off of you guys a little bit because I know it wasn't your guys' fault. Just give me a hot minute. Let me, don't go to work. And he's like, you don't want me to go to work? And he's like, yeah, for a couple weeks. He's like, what? And everything. And he's all like, just again, let me get everybody calm, and talk to him a little bit, and then we can figure out where to go from there. So then over to the high school, these two are like, just doing their thing. And Sarah's all like, listen, I'm not going to go to this assembly. I'm not going to sit there while people like look at me and whisper behind my back. I cannot do this today. And Jordan ends up going with her. Then Jonathan, his football mates come up and they're like, hey, your grandfather is the leader of the DOD. And he's like, yeah. And they're like, what happened? Kind of. So he then gets this girl. I don't remember her name. It doesn't even matter. Popular girl. She comes up behind him and she's all like, hey, she's like, you want to get out of here and everything. So they leave. So then back at the Gazette, Lana and, I don't remember her name either. You guys, I remember Kyle's name. So give me that credit for that. So anyways, they're talking and she's all like, we need to get this story out there to get people calmed down. So she's all like, can you talk to your dad? Because a statement would really help. And she's like, he does, or an interview would really help. And she's like, he doesn't do interviews. And she's like, can you get anything out of him kind of thing? And she's like, I'll contact him right now and we'll see what we can do. So then over at the Kent farm, Irons is working on this computer. He brings Kevin McCarg brings him food, and then he's working on it. He's got his program, and he's tracking Kryptonians with this. And he's like, "Is that how you tracked me?" And he's like, "Yeah, kind of thing." So then they're sitting here talking, and I can't remember what he said, but he's like, "You saved us, so you get a free meal every time." So then the alert goes off, and Elizabeth Lar is on her way to. She's flying towards the DOD to destroy it, I guess, or to get what's his face Edge out. And Superman is in flight, and she's going, and there he's like, she'll be make contact in 3, 2, 1, and he busted into her, and he intercepts her, and they go flying, and she starts punchy, and then as she's punching him, Jeremy Irons shows up, and she looks down at him, and she's like, "You haven't won, Kal-El." And then he shoots her, boom, 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 and she goes flying to the ground. That's a good shot. I like that shot of these two together. I don't like his, again, I don't like his helmet design in the show as Steel, but it's not a deal. It's not like a deal killer for me, but he looks really good without his helmet right there. I wish they made it look more like his face, his helmet. So then General Lane is talking to these two about 7734. And he's all like, "Listen, I created all these weapons." And he's like, "What we're going to do is we're going to put them all in concrete, and we're going to sink it to the bottom of the ocean." And Superman gets the look or whatnot. Oh, and the reason he did that, I forgot to mention this. Back the last time he was talking to Morgan Edge, Morgan was all like, "You control your powers all the time." He's all like, "Didn't it feel good to just let it go once? Didn't it feel so good? You're constantly controlling it and everything." And it made him think. So he's thinking again here. So then these two, he's making fun of her car, and they're playing banter and everything, which I kind of like. The whole soap opera storylines are fine with me and everything. I don't care about that stuff. I can get through that stuff to get to the good stuff. And some of the stuff is good. Like Sarah and Jordan's stuff now is good. At the beginning it was so obnoxious and annoying. Like Jordan was really getting on my nerves, but now I like Jordan. So anyways, these two, and she's like, "Oh, I know you live around here." And he's like, "How do you know that?" And she's like, "I heard it from somebody." So then Sarah and Jordan, they're just walking, and she's all like, "I'm sick and tired of, I'm kind of upset with people, blaming us for what happened with Edge." And Jordan's all talking to her, and he's all like, "Give him time," kind of thing. And then so they're just walking, having a good time, just chit-chatting, and then they go to the diner, and these two are sitting there chit-chatting, and she's all like, "They gave away my job, my position and everything at the bank or whatnot." And he's all like, talking or whatnot. Then some of his coworkers come in, and he's like, "Hey," I don't remember this guy's name. It doesn't even matter. He won't show up again. And he's like, "How you doing?" Everything. And they're like, they're like, "Hey," and he's all like, "You probably told him to have me, take a break." And he's all like, "It was the best for the thing." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I got him for my job." And he's all like, "I saved you from that fire." And he's all like, "Yeah, a fire that one of the Kryptonian people, started." And he's like, "I didn't know anything about it. I was just as much in the dark as you guys. I didn't know what Edge was doing." And they look like, in situations like this, people look for someone to blame, and they look for somebody to be angry at. It's just the way human nature is. I don't understand it either, but it's just the way it is, because it's obvious it's not just his fault. It's everybody's fault, because everybody fell hook, line, and sinker. So then Lois goes over to talk to her dad, and she's like, "I need you to make a statement." And he's like, "I don't make statements." She's like, "Well, can you comment?" And he's like, "Yeah, no comment. That's my comment." So then back at the cell, he is remembering, and his dad is all like, "You're ready, son." And he's like, "You're going to go out into the world, and you're just going to find the Eradicator. You're going to wait for the Eradicator to show up." Which I'm all like, "Oh, the Eradicator wasn't in his little spaceship." Because that's what I thought. I thought the Eradicator came to Earth with Morgan Edge. Or Taro and everything. And he's all like, "Or Taro?" I'll say Taro or Ro and everything. So then he's all like, "You want me to go be alone, father?" And he's like, "Yeah, you're going to be alone," kind of thing. And then so then back at the cell, he's sitting here talking to him, and he's all like, I can't remember what he talks about here. I think maybe this is the part. This is the part where he's talking to him, and he's all like, "You control it day in and day out. I was your brother. You could have had time with me." And he's like, "You control your powers all the time." This is the part where I'm messed up. But he's like, "You control your powers day in and day out, and you're constantly, stopping yourself." And he's like, wouldn't it be nice to, didn't it feel good to let it go just this once and everything? And it gives Superman pause. He pauses and he thinks, he's like, yeah, it felt good to let go. So then back at the Gazette, these two are talking, and she's like, your father wouldn't give a thing. She's like, why do I feel like you're hiding something? You're not telling me the whole story. And she's like, you know what? I think you need to go. She's like, I think you need to go. If you can't be a journalist and everything. So then Lois leaves the Gazette and everything, which that I can't remember her name, but she was right. Lois is, she's not doing her job as a journalist in this instance. And I get both sides. So anyways, these two are sitting here talking, and she basically is questioning about him about what happened with the Kryptonians and all that stuff. And he realizes that she's just using him to get information out so she can, make herself look good at school. So he's like, listen, I'm just going to walk home because I don't need any of this and everything. So then back at the Cushings, they're sitting here talking, and he's all like upset about stuff. And she's like, listen, the mayor is trying to get stuff done. We just need to be, patient. She's like, we'll look for jobs in surrounding areas. And he's all like, why don't we look for houses in other surrounding areas, and maybe we should move? And she's all like, she's thinking about it because she's all like, you're right. Sorry for the blurriness on this. My computer is acting weird. So then, and he's thinking about it. Then these two are just sitting here talking. I can't remember what they were talking about. And it really, in all honesty, let's just be honest, it doesn't even matter as far as everything else goes. So then they're sitting here. This is a good shot, though. I like this lake with this little bridge with all the moss on everything. It's very nice. So then, long story short, she's all like, you need to kiss me now and everything. So they're kissy. It's so blurry. It's really annoying me. Sorry. And they get arrested, which I'm all like, this is lame. And so then back at the DOD, Superman is sitting here, and he's talking to General Lane. And he's all like, what all is it that you have? And he's all like, bunch of guns, like thousands of rounds of kryptonite bullets, some stabby weapons. And he's all like, why are you asking me this? And he's all like, I want you to keep it around. He's all like, I could have lost control. And when that happens, we need to have a backup plan to stop me or people like me. And it gives General Lane pause. So then back at the Kent farm, he's adding the bug logo back onto his suit and everything. And Jonathan shows up, and he's all like, are you a tech head? And he's like, I don't know what I am. I thought I've been an athlete my whole life. And he's all like, I used to be an athlete, but you can be more than one thing. And it just makes me wonder, okay, is he going to get a suit and everything? So then General Lane calls Lois, and he's all like, hey, we got a problem and everything. And then back at the Cushings, she sees that he's been looking for a job and everything. And then she gets a call that her daughter's been arrested. He's talking to him. He's like, you skipped school for a girl and everything. And he's kind of sympathetic, which I totally get it and everything. But he's still like, you can't skip school. Then she comes in, and she's like, you skip school, go up to your room now. And then she's all like, you told my father to keep the weapons around. He's like, yes, let me explain and everything. And then she gets a call about Jordan being arrested. And she's like, listen, I am so angry at you right now, but I need to keep this anger alive because I need to save it for our second son and everything. And you know what gets me about this? I really like these conversations because these two got it together as adults. Like, I'm an adult, barely. And the whole time I'm all like, I don't even have it together to where I can talk to my spouse like this. When I get angry, I'm just like, and then I'm all like, I need a minute and everything. So, I mean, these two, they got it together. Way more adult than I am. Anyways, so then back at the police station, sheriff or officer Bitchface is all like, they were on private property. And Lana's all like, we used to sneak in there by the lake all the time when we were younger. And she's like, it's still private property. Okay, Johnson, officer Bitchface. Yeah, we know why you're doing this. It's because she's a Cushing. Anyways, so then they leave, and she's all like, Lois is all like, you're in trouble for skipping school and getting arrested. She's like, you better be, just because she gave you a warning doesn't mean that you are not in trouble. So then Lana hears the mayor talking to the sheriff, and he's all like blaming Kyle for pushing Morgan Edge onto the town. And she gets pissed and she confronts him. And she's all like, you said you were going to help us to settle this whole thing and get everybody off our back, but you're a liar. You're just trying to push this so you can get elected again. And he's like, let's go talk about this. And she's like, we don't need to talk about this. You're a liar, yada, 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 and everything. So then she's all like, and then Lois is like, yeah, he's just trying to save his back. And she's like, I'm so angry right now. I don't know what to think. And she's like, this town is my whole life, and I didn't have a backup plan. So then back at the Kemp farm, Lois comes in, and he's all like, listen, he's like, the reason I kept it is because kept those weapons around is because I could lose control. And she's all like, but they could kill you. And he's all like, and Clark is right. And I get Lois's side too, but Clark is right. He lost control, and who's to say it can't happen again? And there needs to be a backup plan to stop it and save the rest of humanity from him or people like him. So then he tells Jeremy Irons that, hey, you need to be the keeper of the keys. And he's like, you need to keep all these weapons safe, so that way, if it happens, you're the one that can take me down. And he's all like, are you sure you want to do this? And he's like, yeah, I do. I want to do this. So in the back of the Gazette, Lois shows up, and she's all like, hey, listen. And she's like, I didn't get a full statement, but it's part of the story, but it's enough to write a story to calm everybody down. I can't write it because I'm too close to this, but you can write it. She's like, and hopefully in time, I can earn your trust again. Then back at the DOD inside Edge's cell, he is like hearing all these voices and everything. And he goes back to a memory, and he's all like, he's talking about Clark / Kal-El. He's like, you didn't tell me I had a brother here. And he's all like, oh, he's barely a brother. He's blood only because your mother is a hooer. And oh, that's another thing. In the last memory, he's all like, can I talk to my mother once? And he's like, no. He's like, I only saved her memory so I could show her the destruction of this world and then just, destroy her memory thing or whatever it's called, her consciousness. But he's like, oh, he's nothing. He's weak. He's like, you will not meet him. And he's all like, you know what, Father, I'm not going to do this plan your way. I'm going to do it my way. And so he's like listening. He's like, you're right, Father. I shouldn't have done it my way. I should have done it your way and everything. And that's when he closes his eyes, and then they go blue. Back at the Cushing house, she's all like, you got arrested. And she's all like, everybody blames us for what we do. I'm sorry. I didn't want to sit at school and be looked at and talked about like I'm a leper and everything. I'm paraphrasing. She didn't say leper. And they kind of understand that and everything. And then, so they're all frustrated, and, I'm not sure what they say there. These two are yelling at them for them skipping school / getting arrested. And, I need to check this. So then these two all snuggling, kissy face. Then back at the DOG, they're all like, what's going on? And they're like, send guys in there and everything. So they go in there, and they got their guns pointed. And then he stands up, and he does this little thing where he's like, and everything. I'm going to use this as my thumbnail. And then he blasts out everything and knocks everybody over. And then he floats down, and then he's all blue-eyed. Now, I'll tell you what, I'll go through what the end of this and everything. And so then Superman shows up, and he's like, where is he? He's like, I don't know, and everything. So then he goes up to space to try to hear him, but he can't hear him and everything. And he's all like, and the reason he can't hear him is because he's left Earth's orbit, and he is now by the sun. He is just soaking up those sweet sun rays and everything. And he's hearing this thing, and he's hearing all these Kryptonian people saying, become the Eradicator, become the Eradicator. Become the Eradicator, and it's like, and everything. So it's very obvious that he's Eradicator Superman and everything. And I had forgotten about this, and a lot of people, were all like one person was all like, I'm like, oh, calm it down, learn your stories. And I'm like, oh, calm it down, like, fuck face. I'm like, you don't need to be all like, which I don't know how I feel about this, but at the same time, I'm fine with it. I don't know how I feel about this, but at the same time, I'm fine with it, just because, like, it's fine. But basically, a Superman. But basically, what Eradicator Superman
it's like
is
it's
he's
like a
basically like
technological form,
a Superman.
and he can teleport and all this stuff. He
But it's
basically
like
has
it's like
Superman's
a
powers, but like a
technological
little
form.
differently or whatnot.
And he
I'm
can
trying to remember all of
teleport
it because I can't.
and
I
all
want
this
to look it up
stuff.
right
And
now.
he basically has
Not in the
Superman's
mood.
powers, but
But
like a little
yeah, we're just
differently or
gonna end
whatnot.
this.
I'm
This
trying
little.
to remember all of it because I can't, and I don't want to look it up right now. I'm like not in the mood. But yeah, we're just gonna end this little video. But I really liked this episode. Like I said before, this show is just getting better and better. It's so good. I love everything about this show. I love, everything that they're doing. I love, the acting. I love all the special effects. I mean, like, listen, this one wasn't like crazy, like, well, there was a lot of effects or whatnot, but I really liked it. I love this. I love this show. I don't know how I can't say enough good things about this show, and I really feel like the CW is doing a good job with this show. Like they're really knocking it out of the park with this one. And yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to say about this episode except the fact that I liked it. Sorry I didn't have more information on the Eradicator Superman. I'll look that up so I have more info next time. I literally just got done watching the thing and I need to get this video up and going before I have to go to work. I got to work a double shift today, all that stuff. But listen, tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Did you like this episode? Did you not like this episode? Do you love this show? Who's your favorite character? All that good stuff. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on the next Superman and Lois breakdown. You guys have a good week. Bye.